a way to create something, and it usually tastes good too. One thing I enjoy to bake are cinnamon rolls. Cinnamon rolls are sweet bread with cinnamon in the center, or perhaps other things like coconut, cream cheese, peanut butter, and jelly, but today we'll be sticking with the classic cinnamon. Cinnamon rolls are easy to make and fun once you know how to make them. Knowing how to make cinnamon rolls will allow you to be a step ahead when it comes to baking other desserts or breads. To understand how to make cinnamon rolls, you must first know how to read a recipe, get the right ingredients, and the most important part, make the dough and bake them. Understanding how to read a recipe will benefit you when you're trying to make a meal or bake goods for yourself or others. Reading a recipe is essential for making our cinnamon rolls. If you read a recipe, you will first read through all of the ingredients and make sure you have everything you need. First off, we'll be needing 3 packages or 3 tablespoons of active dry yeast. Then we'll need 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 cup of warm water, half a cup of softened butter, half a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt, 3 eggs, 3 to 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 tablespoons of sugar mixed with 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. And for later for our icing, we will need 1 cup of powdered sugar and 1 to 2 tablespoons of water. I prefer to have all my ingredients in a separate place so they'll be out of the way and in order for when I need them. Then you go to the directions and reread them in case you forget something. We'll be going through the directions through the video. Creating the dough is the most important part of the process. Make sure you go through all of the steps in your recipe book. For our recipe, we'll be using an electric mixer with a bread mixer that looks like this. As we start by dissolving the yeast and 2 teaspoons of sugar in warm water, stir it and let it sit for 15 minutes. As we wait, we should learn some more about yeast. It is not a very common baking product. According to the Sprouse Eats, yeast is an egg-shaped single-cell fungus that is only visible with a microscope. When baking yeast-leavened bread, the yeast ferments and the sugars in the flour releases carbon dioxide. Because the dough is elastic and stretchable, carbon dioxide cannot escape. The expanding gases cause the dough to inflate and rise, making your bread light and fluffy. A common place to keep your yeast is in your refrigerator so it doesn't go bad. Using an electric mixer, cream together softened butter, half a cup of sugar, and salt. Then add well-beaten eggs. After your sugar and yeast mixture has sat for 15 minutes, add it to the mixture and blend well. Then we'll add enough flour, mixing it thoroughly so that the dough is not sticky. The dough is not sticking to the sides of the bowl anymore, take the bowl off the mixer and put plastic wrap over the top. Place the bowl of dough in a warm place to let it double in size. It'll take about an hour for it to double in size. As we wait for our dough to double in size, I like to clean my area for our next step in our process. After your dough has doubled in size, you will punch the dough down and roll it out into a rectangle about 1/4 of an inch thick. You will spread melted butter over the dough and sprinkle your sugar-cinnamon mixture over the top. I prefer to cut my dough in half so it's easier to roll up. You'll roll up lengthwise. Once you have done that, you will cut them into 1.5-inch slices. A butter sheet, not touching. Then you'll cover them with a towel and let it sit for 30 minutes to rise. While it's waiting, preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Baking your rolls is the final stage in this baking process. After they have risen for 30 minutes, take the plastic wrap off them and put them in the oven at 350 degrees. Let them cook for about 20 to 30 minutes until they're golden brown. It would be the same time to cook if you're going to do peanut butter and jelly rolls, cream cheese, or orange rolls. When the timer goes off, take the rolls out if they are golden brown and begin preparing the frosting. That will give the rolls just enough time to cool and spread the frosting to enjoy. Cinnamon rolls are fun, easy, and simple to make. With the final product, you can both share and enjoy them. Learning how to read a recipe and finding all the ingredients will help you in making your dough. Baking your cinnamon rolls is the final stage in this long process, but the one you'll be looking forward to the most. You can add flavors besides cinnamon, but learning how to make the classic cinnamon roll is a skill that will make you look like an expert when you roll up to your next family gathering.